Hello, my name is Scream and welcome to new Let's Play series where we're gonna be playing Tyranny. Okay, so this is my first Let's Play, or first playthrough. I played Tyranny like for few minutes to set audio and choose my character and history of conquering our land or land where you're gonna be playing. Okay, so let's go to it. So, new game. We're gonna have normal difficulty, yeah, accept. And now we can start with character creation. Okay, so... Oh, now we have some...
For over 400 years, the armies of Kyros the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kyros' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kyros' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tyranny, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kyros' minions. Tyranny brings Kyros' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kyros' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Okay, so let's see. Well, first, we will have to create our character. Okay, so... everything is almost ready. Now let's choose this body type, this skin, and we're gonna be male. Okay, so portrait. Okay, you're gonna be our portrait. And since I'm usually playing, well, RPGs, I'm usually playing as me if I would be in those situations. But since this is game where we're gonna be evil, so I will to try to play my evil myself. So we need evil look. So let's find, yeah, this looks nice. Face. Okay, I would say this fifth face. Yeah, fifth face is gonna be our choice. Hair color definitely dark or black, since we are in evil universe. Voice, male aggressive.
Quite down.
Yeah, why not?
I'm injured. Tired.
And we also will need the juice. Yeah, this one. Okay, our primary color is gonna be black. And secondary, let's keep yellow. Why not? Black and yellow are gonna be our colors. Okay, so next, how did you join Kyros' army? We are war mage, so few have the combination of wits and courage to be accomplished casters and warriors, and those crossed with such combination of tons. are invariably pulled from their mundane lives and assigned to the armies of Archons. Your earliest memories are painful slog of training, study, lecture, and exhaustion. All the elements of the being groomed for battle. You knew better than to ask to what become of your family, nor to question the missives allegedly penned by their hand that were part of your earliest lessons in reading. When you reached adulthood, to none, to adjudicator came to the barracks and laid claim to your life, seeing you as too valuable for the crucible of battle. The Archon of Justice deemed your life better spent dedicated to the art of curative legal remedies. Though you had much to learn in matters of civil discourse, none could deny your right to future as Tunon's next great enforcer. Okay, our primary exercise are just gonna be frost spells. Again, next. And now, this something I will probably change in my test run, where when I prepared my character and history, and also try to fix audio, or try to how to say it, make audio levels similar, so my voice wouldn't be too quiet and everything else too loud. Okay, so what we gonna choose? Touch of Entropy, Foe target lose might and vitality. What about Shock Spell? That would be nice. Charge Fist effect, Foe target 8 meter push. Or Vigor Spell, Titan's Touch, Allied target plus 2 vitality. Okay, Frost Spell, Energy Shield, Allied target plus 4 armor. Okay, Charge Strike, 12 14 Frost, Frost Magic, range 8 meters. Or maybe we could go with unarmed attacks. Spear and Shield, definitely not Javelin. Dual wielding, I don't think so. Shortbow, as mage we could use shortbow. We could be fighting from afar. Okay, hard shot, 12 to 16 pierce versus dodge. Effect, bleeding for 20 seconds or hobble. You know what, let's go with shortbow and ability hard shot. Okay, next, banner. Our banner is gonna be this eagle. And primary culture black. And secondary color. Okay, so first, our colors. First gonna be black. Secondary is gonna be definitely not yellow. Let's keep it brown. But our primary color on banner is gonna be again black, and primary color on our banner is gonna be yellow. So yeah, let's keep it this. Okay, enter name. Skreamicus. It's gonna be name of our character Skreamicus. So let's continue. Attributes. So resolve, might, finesse, and wits are important. We have 8 points. Okay, wits will improve our spell strength, which is great. Resolve will affliction duration, and plus 2 endurance, will, and magic defense. Might plus 3% to attack and stability strength, plus 3 endurance, defense, finesse. Yeah, let's go with accurate. Let's go with 13 with to 13 with finesse. Wits, let's go to 13 again. You know what, yeah, let's keep this. Okay, we have 20 points for skills, so we definitely need to control frost. Let's go with 40. Something we're gonna be using a lot. Oh, you don't know, let's go with 37. Magic staff definitely we will be using a lot, so let's go with 31, bows 28, lore 45 at least. Subterfuge. Subterfuge skill determines a character's ability to move unseen through their environment. At least 25. And dodge. Dodge skill defense against range attacks from both javelin and magic spells. Would use it. And the last point we're gonna spend on control frost. No, let's spend it on magic stuff. Okay, next. Okay, we definitely do want conquest. Okay, and let's continue with our conquest.
All the world has fallen to Kyros, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kyros' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kyros a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kyros' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Okay, conquest. During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kyros' invasion of the Tears, shaping the worlds through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major affections of the Tears respond to you. Your decision matter. Choose wisely. Okay, so I already read everything, so I'm gonna be choosing my decisions. Well, if I will remember them. Okay, so the Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kyros' empire and the Tears, built upon the natural harbor at the crossroads between the realms. The city was the nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To Northerner, it was little more than backwarded trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it natural first target in Kyros' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as soldier in Kyros' armies. Taking this city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kyros' will is insurmountable. Okay, so we have chose. We can either infiltrate the Tears or attack it Gates of Judgment. Okay, my decision was to infiltrate the Tears, and I chose this favor to do that. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest. But the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and Scarlet Horus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? You lent your skills to the elite Disfavored scouts to capture a border garrison. Craven Ash insisted that an early insisted that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty overconfidence of the Southerners. Yeah, let's go next. The outbound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinion on the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering of disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. Okay, step number 2 was we can choose either choose inside agent or containing the fire, and I chose containing the fire. Your fiercest opponents in the Bastard City were the mages of the School of Wild Throw, too barbaric to use their power responsibly. The unbridled practitioners needed to be stopped. How did you take the hot-tempered mages into their own undoing? You lured the hot-headed mages to the ambush, where the legion of disfavored waited to spring the trap. The soldiers were hungry for a chance to subdue the arcane branch of the tier's resistance. Okay, containing fire. The mages took their more dangerous research outside of the city of the bastard city walls. You sent a scout to sabotage a delicate ritual, which caused an explosion that injured or killed many senior practitioners. In a rage, the survivors expended themselves on the chase through the surrounding hills, where the disfavored surround them and brought them to heal. The few that survived the attack were conscripted by the Scarlet Horrors. Betrayal of the Bastard City. Your tactics of infiltration placed you in the Bastard City ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city defenses for the arrival of Kyros' forces. But you wanted the decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the Bastard City? And I chose to spread fear through assassination. Keeping to the shadows, you eliminated the leaders of the Bastard City, one by one, and we gain ability concealing shadows. Our accuracy will fail for 12 seconds, but dodge will go up by 200. Same will go to parry, and 100% to grace deflection. We don't need it, and definitely do not need searing palm. So yeah, let's go with spread fear through assassination. Some deaths were quiet and unnoticed, while others were gruesome beyond words. As wave of murder overtook the city elite, your deed swathed in infamy. Well before the armies arrived, no one in the Bastard City felt safe in their homes, much less behind their walls. By the time Kyros' forces crested the horizon, the city was fearful enough to throw open the gates and welcome their new protectors. And Bastard City is ours. And now it's time for year 2. The Bastard City settled into a new state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Kyros' banner. Your name was whispered alongside the rumor of decorated career to come. The armies divided into 2 fronts and migrating south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kyros' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. And I chose to go to Lethian's Crossing because there are deposits of iron, and every advancing armies needs good base of operations. So Lethian's Crossing it is. 429 of Kyros' conquest. Lethian Crossing. Years ago, Lethian the Bard founded a small merchant town at the intersection of the ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fears of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in modest insignificance. Lethian's Crossing drew Kyros' attention for the new iron deposit in the surrounding hills. With the region under Kyros' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with generous bribe, taking the crossing in the bloodless victory. Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Kyros' forces and bring order to the region. Okay, and here I chose, I think... Okay, I have no idea. Now I don't remember. Okay, Sirin, Archer of Song, used her Ancon charm to lure locals into joining Kyros' army. As the patrons of the sacred chorus, I think I chose this. You send the latest batch of cultists to the front line. Or maybe not. Okay, definitely not this one. I know that I chose Scarlet Horus later. I think it was next turn. Yup, this one. The iron must flow. Kyros' myth mages work day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was slow. The plans that come to light proved divisive to the disfavored and Scarlet Horus. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forges. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kyros' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. Okay, this one. I choose to draw from the Scarlet Horus recruits. The Scarlet Horus took the refugees from the recent influx and forced them to serve in Kyros' military. You repurpose those individuals to hold wagons of iron for the Smith mages. This proved an inconvenience to the Scarlet Horus, who relied on their forces of numbers to be effective in the field. The population of Lethian's Crossing had felt from the employing of lands destroyed by Kyros' armies. Although the Scarlet Horus fought to keep the refugees under their control, the need for production could not wait. The new recruits were reassigned to the whole iron ore from treacherous mine shafts, labor more befitting slaves than Kyros' artisans. Through this favor grew more stronger with the advantage of more weapons. The Scarlet Horus diminished as their ranks found themselves with one less opportunity for growth. Okay, turn 2. This one. We can choose pick of an armory or a Guardian's Due, and I chose Guardian's Due. Kyros' armies used Latin's crossing as repressive from the war. The city grew more crowded as a mercenary army hired by the Archon of Secrets occupied the barracks, where they drained resources and escalated tension. The disfavored wanted nothing to do with the sellswords, but the Scarlet Horus sought to invite them into the fold. You let the Scarlet Horus and the mercenaries engage in combat games and challenges, and allowed laws against revelry and merriment to go unenforced. Those who won the contest took the greatest share of provisions, and sellswords of merit were invited to join Kyros' armies. The games proved an excellent opportunity to relieve tensions, settle disputes, and guarantee future cooperation between the two forces. Any grievances were resolved by ritual combat, messier than your adjudication, but arguably more entertaining for those outside of the arena. The mercenaries who proved themselves worthy opponents found reward in joining the ranks of the Scarlet Horus, where many of them carved out positions among the elite fighters. Okay, who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when mercenary hired by the voices of Nerat injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Do not order the mercenaries to leave the city in hands of Kyros' more responsible servant. Only token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As the disfavored and Scarlet Horus showed increasing tension and hostilities towards each other, Turon decreed it best that the only one force control the crossing, and I chose to disfavor to control the crossing. The disfavored placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Latin Crossing. For the force was larger than might be needed to police small settlement, Protecting the forge-bound ironsmiths become the true agenda of the defense force, as those magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of the Scarlet Horus, the citizens of Latin Crossing felt they got at least the least of two burdens. You received word from Graven Ash thanking you for your decision. The Forge-bound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the voices of Nerat. Okay, and Latin Crossing is prepared. Okay, and it's year 3. With the mercenaries expelled and Latin's Crossing under the new leadership, Kyros' forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed in the realm of Azure, Stalwart, or the Velum Citadel. And I chose Stalwart because it has easily defended position and rich military tradition. The realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm of the tiers. And because we want to become as powerful as possible, the most formidable realm is a good place to start. So let's go to Stalwart. And it's year 3 of Kyros' conquest. Stalwart. The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kyros' forces approached with due caution. With its southern position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war, watching for 2 years as its neighbors fell to Kyros' forces. On the dawn of the 3rd year of the war, Kyros' forces were finally poised to invade the Stalwart Peninsula and subdue the tier's most vaunted army. Okay. This one, marching on empty, the Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Horus mob raided from the disfavored, well-maintained supply lines, incurring casualties on both sides, and I chose order to disfavored to share supplies. By your command, the disfavored shared their provisions. The thieves each lost a hand for their treachery. Scarlet Horus commanders argued that the horde was starving. Being the largest of the Kyros' armies, they were also the least provisioned. The men were wrong to steal, but the disfavored were equally wrong to withhold supplies from their allies. You agreed with the Horus version of the event and ordered that the disfavored supplies be shared. The thieves themselves would be punished with the loss of the hand and returned to the front lines. The disfavored found this sickening aberration of justice and surrendered their supplies with grudging acceptance. Okay, stage 2. Yup, Beast of Stalwart. Scarlet Horus mages discovered a spell to turn beastmen slaves against their handlers. The army prepared to deploy these tactics elsewhere, but the disfavored protested. The use of unsanctioned magical practices ran contrary to Kyros' law. The beastmen were considered too erratic to be relied upon, even as shock troops, and I chose to agree with the Scarlet Horus. You approved the Scarlet Horus' new innovation, and through the technique and acceptable use of wartime magic. The disfavored lambasted you for authorizing such risky tactics. Kyros' armies also relied on beastmen haulers, and the disfavored argued such magic would inevitably unravel supply lines and logistics. The Horus, on the other hand, were emboldened by the decree, and considered you an honorable patron of arcane inquiry. Through the Scarlet Horus struggled to maintain a presence in Stalwart. This magic for enraging beastmen slaves was used to bloody effect through the countryside. And Edict of Storms. The disfavored carved a slowly, steady path into heart of Stalwart and surrounded the enemy massive fortress. with the main bulk of their forces defeated. The enemy leadership retreated to their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. The Overlord answered this impudence with an edict of storms on the peninsula, a devastating spell that would endure for as long as the cowardly hearts of stalwart leaders persisted in beating. Knowing before anyone else that the edict would occur, the voices of Nanats lobbied for you to deliver the mighty incantation. Aside from being given a 3 day window to read the edict, you received no other instruction. Okay, Edict of Storms. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavors, you proclaim the edict at once, leaving the enemy no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender for several years. The time for mercy was long gone. Next. You agreed with disfavored rationale. The leaders of Stalwart had refused honorable battle, and too many disfavored lives were lost in the campaign. Since the last regent refused to leave the keep, you would let him watch as his people suffer. Without hesitation or regret, you broke the seal of Kyros' Edict of Storms, and you read the Overlord's incantation. And Stalwart is no more. Edicts of Storm. The clear skies darkened as you read the final words of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and creek canyons, turning rocks, uprooted trees and helpless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with the measure of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers bereft of limbs, spear, armor, and skulls. What more, the weather showed no sign of dissipating. Several units of disfavored who fought the enemy in spite of the advancing storm were caught up in the Overlord's magic. The few survivors regrouped and nursed their wounds. Their failure to topple the stalwart legion shamed them into believing the dead more fortunate. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave, for the remade landscape festooned with the iron and bronze armaments of two once great legions. As Kyros' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruins of Falward, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunant called you into service once more. Game can start. No, we can continue with conquest is completed. We can continue. And game can start. Spell sigils can be found through the Ward of Terrasus. Collect those sigils to construct powerful magical attacks.
The year is 431, and Kyros' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kyros lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kyros have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance, but months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kyros has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kyros backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, You carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kyros' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kyros' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Okay, so it's time to play the game. Okay, so post game, and since it's time to finish this episode here, our first real episode. We'll have to wait for another time. So if you enjoyed this episode, or if you want to see how our adventure will continue, please continue watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.